Okay, good day, teacher. I'm Janet, and this is my group, presented by Valerie, Anna, and Mar. Well, today we are going to present our academic product number 3. So for that, we have our part of index, and as introduction, I want to mention that I think it's important to share these topics in our environment as academic students, because plagiarism and the importance of teamwork is going to be the topics that we are going to talk about in this presentation. And about also, we are going to talk about the presentation of an academic topic, the behavioral activation therapy, and finally a conclusion of all this work. I hope you can enjoy, and I hope you can learn something new about our group.
Okay, thanks, Jenner. Let's continue with the exposition with the case of plagiarism, a scientific scandal due to the fraud of the Dutch social psychologist who invented his research and published it in Science Direct. Well, in 2011, the Dutch psychologist Diederik Stapel researched the peak of his professional career. An article that he manages to publish in the prestigious Science Direct magazine have given much to talk about in academic circles and opening up new perspective to understand xenophobia, growing problem in many countries. In essence, what Staple was arguing through the article was that people who live in the chaotic environments and lead disorderly lives were more likely to despise foreigners. Cute kid finding within social psychology. A staple celebration didn't last long. As a popular saying goes, it went up like a palm tree and down like a coconut. An investigation communists that to pin level, former president of the Dutch Academy of Science, conclude that the psychologists had invented practically the entire work, neither the service nor the data collection, and certainly not the results were true. In an interview with the magazine Nature, Lever assured that at least 30 of the words of investigated psychologists are false, but there may be even more. Once exposed, Staple recognized the scene and asked for help. They said, I need to be treated. So, in a legit apology to the Vulcan grant, the crestfallen psychologist wrote, I wanted to be the best and publish more than anyone else in a terrain with a little control and where you work alone. I took the wrong route. She mentioned that. And in another things, he said that I have failed as a science. Ashment for the editors of the famous Science Direct magazine, the situation was no less embarrassing since there are supposed to be rigorous filters to avoid these situations. When someone submit some article is very strict, but they mentioned it that they didn't know what happened with this article of this psychologist. We alert, they mentioned that we alert our readers to all doubts about the validity of the study, reads the editorial where science admits what happened, while researchers search staples readings the Dutch universities of Tilburg in the south of in the country in the south in the country of the country, and growing in the north have sued him in court. Simon Rosendale, a Dutch science writer, said the fault could be probably a cathartic. Thank you. The next.
Okay, so I will continue with the importance of teamwork related to my career, that is systems and computer engineering. Next, please. Okay, so first, to know why is teamwork so important in my career, I will mention some of the responsibilities we have. We have to deliver highly reliable, available, and performing systems. We have to deliver support of these systems, and we have to create reports and change requests whenever the users or the clients need them. Next, please. Okay, so why is it important? Because we turn desires into reality. And why do I say this? Because when a client needs a system or a software, they will tell us everything they would like to implement in this system. So what we have to do is listen to them and then see what things can be do and which things cannot be done. And for this case, I took the example of the Scrum process. The Scrum process is a methodology that is not only used for software development, but also in any other area. And as you can see in this process, there are lots of people involved. We have the product owner, the Scrum manager, the team workers. So it's a thing that requires a certain amount of people. Next, please. Another thing is identifying and notifying errors or alerts. When we develop the system or software, there might be some errors once it is already finished. So we have to find them. And to find an error, it is better to have more people looking for this error. So if only one people focuses on the errors, it will be harder because our codes have like thousands of lines, and to find one error is very, very hard. So it is more important to work as a team. And there you can see the cycle of debugging. Next, please. Finally, we have scalability and system design, which consists basically on scalability is what will a system support? Like if this system needs to adapt itself to the necessities of the client, whether they are a lot or not so many. And when it comes to the system design, if one person thinks of the system design, there will be some ideas. But if more people think about this design, there will be more ideas, and the software will be developed like prettier and better. Because in a software, it's not only important that it works, but it also that is pretty for the client. And we have also performing stress tests and suggesting improvements. So when a software is finished, there must be some tests that stress the software, so we can see how much the software can take. And this has a cycle too. There are people that develop these tests, there are people that perform the tests, and there are people that also analyze this. So this is a work team basically. So when it comes to suggesting improvements, people will, the more people there are, the better, because there will be more suggestions of improvements, and there will be a better final answer to the problems of the software or system. So that's everything by my part. Thank you.
Thank you, Anna. Well, I talk about values. Values, or what is value for you? According with behavior activation therapy in psychology is my career. A value is a life horizon in which motivates us to perform activities that lead us to seek the horizon. Or some people might think that a value is like a goal. You can see and you can imagine this, but goals have a limit, right? And values not. For example, my goal will be to obtain my university degree, but a value of me will be to be, for example, a great professional. In addition, next slide, please. In addition, a value to make us perform actions to bring us a closer value, and those actions make our life more meaningful. These values help us to get ahead in our most difficult moments. For example, when we are in a depressive situation or another situation complicated, we forget that we have this horizon in our lives, but what we must to do is really on these values to move forward with our lives. In conclusion, values are the path of our lives to a meaningful life. So, are there any questions here? If not, thank you very much for your attention.
Well, I would say that about the presentation of our classmates, I think it will be better maybe to give more examples, because maybe a lot of people and a lot of students didn't understand exactly what value means for them, because there are different careers in our classroom. And but it's good. It was one example. And the other thing, to have specific information, maybe to support her idea, it'll be better to share some references, to mention maybe the author of this behavioral value, I mean about this therapy. It'll be better to mention the author of this therapy, to make this information more truthful, more exactly to the people who is hearing this information. And about her conclusion about this, her presentation, I think it will be better also to share some specific information, or in the point of her presentation, her objective of this. And finally, as a group, I want to mention some conclusion that is important to give you or to let you know. And first, it was about a case of plagiarism. It's one of the most important topics in our academic students at the university, because we constantly are making researchers or investigations. So we need to be more careful about what we are going to do. And because, as the example has my classmate Valerie mentioned, some people just make their investigation to get more, I don't know, to be more recognized, even when they are making a fault, and they can receive sanctions, something like that. So we need to be more careful. And about the second topic, the teamwork, my classmate Anna mentioned that in her examples, that teamwork give us the opportunity to search ideas and to innovate, and constantly to have the opportunity to improve as a teamwork, to create new ideas, to create better systems. In that way, we can help other people to maybe have the application or the system for the business that they want to make. So it's better to work in the teamwork for those reasons. And for that, it's important also to listen, to be careful what the other person are saying, what the other person want, the objective has the goals. And so in that way, as a group, we can work to achieve the goal. And finally, the topic about my classmate Mar, well, as I mentioned, we can improve in those kind of situations when we are going to present the one topic or another. So that's all for today, and thank you very much for your attentions, and I hope you can learn something new about our group, and this is our references. Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.